What's going on, Hype Nation? Andrew Hall here, Brunswick National Staffer, back with you with another video. We got a really exciting one for you today. We got the brand new Black Widow Tour V1. All right, this Widow Tour is the latest installment of the Black Widow line. It's probably the most famous line in bowling, and I think everybody knows what the Black Widow line is if you're a bowler. This one is a really unique one, though. This is the first time they've ever done a tour interpretation of that. So what that basically means is that there's less differential, so it's a little bit easier for your ball to get down the lane. It doesn't want to shape up super fast. So and how they accomplished that is they took the disc, the radial disc, outside of the weight or inside of the weight block. They took it out. So that takes the differential from 0.58 down to 0.34. So it decreases it quite a bit while keeping the same amount of asymmetry at 0.016. So you're going to get kind of a unique shape out of this one, coupled with the HK22 Aggression Hybrid. This is the same cover stock that was found on the Widow 2.0 Hybrid, for those in the know. That's a really, really good piece. It just has a little bit of different surface finish along with some different colors. So that's definitely going to have an effect on the ball reaction. We have a house shot out there, but we also have a sports shot out there. We have Carmen Salvino 42 feet, just kind of give you a good broad range of what you're gonna see and hopefully what I'll probably see on some tougher patterns and some regionals. So let's get right into it. All right, first shots here with the Tour V1, Widow. I have not thrown a single shot with this yet, so we're gonna learn together. But we're gonna stand about 23 here, kind of where we normally start, and see what we got. Pretty good start. All right, I got a pretty good feeling about this ball. I struck the first shot with it, so I'm just gonna keep throwing shots until I don't strike anymore. I mean, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but the flare is definitely less than you would normally find in a Widow. Typically the flare is about 5 to 6 inches around the ball for a regular Widow. This is no more than 3, and that just has to do with the less differential, taking that puck out of the top of the ball. It makes it way more predictable and easy through the fronts. Really? If you caught on earlier, this has the same cover stock as the ever so famous Black Widow 2.0 Hybrid, which was a staple for a lot of people. This just has a slightly different finish to it and a different weight block. So it's gonna appear a little bit weaker, but you can still get quite a bit of back end from the 9-pin that I just left, as you can see. That's to the right. A little gassed, a little bit to the right. So you're definitely not gonna get quite as much mid-lane performance with this ball, but that's kind of the intent. You want it to be a little bit easier through the front so you can have more down lane motion. I think the versatility in this piece is gonna be amazing. If you hit it with some surface, it's gonna read that spot and have a little bit more for the back end because of the low diff. But if you shine it up, move left, watch that thing do the big spin. So I actually just bowled a regional this past weekend down in Delaware, and I saw Mike Rubin bowl 300 with this ball on 42-foot Carmen Salvino, which we may or may not have out on lane 1 right now. This thing rolled amazing, and it's rolling good now. Ooh. So any ball that has Tour in the name, it's gonna be really good on harder patterns, especially really flat ones when you kind of have to get left. That lower diff is just gonna help it. I'm just really excited. You don't really see bowling balls like this that often with lower differentials with higher intermediates. I think the closest thing to these numbers we've had is like Theorem or Guru Oracle within the 40s and then 0.16. But in the 30s with an 0.16 intermediate, it's really unique because it still wants to rotate to something, but the small amount of flare doesn't make it lock up. I think this is gonna be a home run. I think this will be a little bit happier on the challenge pattern, or the sport pattern rather, but I'm loving what I'm seeing out of this ball. Let's compare it to an Effector. All right, we got the Effector here. A little bit of surface. The effect tour is going to be overall earlier and a little bit more forward down the lane just because the cover is at a little bit stronger of a finish. But let's just find out. Stand at 25. Can't get that 10 pin out today. It's kind of hard to tell, but it definitely saw that ball read a little bit sooner and a little bit rounder down lane. The Widow Tour is a little bit cleaner, a little bit faster, so it's a good comparison. All right, let's try it again. Hopefully get the 10 out this time. Get out of there, 9. All right, that's a pretty good transition into the next pattern. We got the 42-foot Carmen Salvino out there, PBA pattern. This one's a little bit more difficult. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more precise with how I throw the ball and a little bit more accurate. I still think that this Tour Widow is going to be a great performer on that. So let's just go throw some shots and see what we got. We're on the 42-foot sport pattern right now, PBA Salvino. I gotta be a little bit farther right, so I'm gonna have my left foot kind of start on 18 and see where we go from there. That would have been something. All right, that was pretty close, so we're gonna just try that one again and see if we can't get the 10 to go out. It's gotta hook a lot. Get out of there. This ball's actually a little bit quicker than I was expecting it to be. The 2.0 hybrid, the Widow 2.0 hybrid, is definitely a quick ball, but I figured that the surface prep would slow it down a little bit, but it's got some wings a little bit on the back end, so we're gonna try to play into that a little bit. Move in a little bit, throw it to the right. I mean, that just mowed them down. So right now, I'm seeing an incredibly useful ball motion, and I think that there's a lot of use cases with this ball where you can put a lot of surface on it, and you can use it on the fresh. It's not gonna really over flare. But if you want to let it shine up a little bit or just put some shine on it yourself, I think that you're kind of seeing right now the ball really does have some go on the back. So I think it can do both. I really do. I can't wait to see the variety of what I get. So let's just keep throwing some shots here. I moved in and it looked pretty good. So I'm going to try to do that again. Oh, that's kind of up the lane. That's the low diff. That's the lower diff right there. If it was a regular Widow, that would have grabbed early and went because it's just flaring so much. But because those flarings are a little tighter, it wants to push through that spot when I miss left a little bit. There's also a lot of oil on the lane. So it's just a fantastic ball for stuff like this. I think that it's gonna be really useful on tour, sport shots, even house shots too. I think it's just gonna be a really useful ball. All right, so just for comparison purposes, I'm gonna throw some shots with the Effect Tour now. I expect this to bite a little bit earlier just because of the cover, kind of like on the house shot, but we'll see what we got here. I don't think this Effect Tour will have quite as much leftability, if you will, but we'll just find out. Definitely got back, but it was definitely an earlier read. It's kind of tough to tell, but I definitely saw an earlier motion. All right, that was about 20 with our feet. So we'll just kind of schlep her on over there again. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this ball's left to build just fine. All right, so I think that both balls have pretty common use cases between the two. They're kind of interchangeable. I just think that the Effect Tour is a little bit more built for early hook, whereas the Widow Tour has a bit more of a broader range. You can kind of do both with it. So let's throw one more with this effect, and then I'll round it out with a couple more with the Widow, and then I think that'll do it. Yeah, that saw it really early. I think this Widow will get through it a lot easier. A couple more with the Widow. Hopefully this ball will help me get through the fronts a little bit more and have her come on back afterward. Yep, so that's already a really good a good example of the differences between these two balls. You don't want to get balls that do the same thing all the time. To create separation is when you have really good solutions for a bunch of different oil patterns. So I really like these. I think these two belong in the bag together. Slightly different use cases, but I think they can be in the same bag for sure. All right, let's finish off on a good one here. Let's move in a couple. Let's move in like 2 or 3 and see if she'll come back. Or throw it over my toe. Let's end on a better one than that. All right, how about a little better than that, huh? Let's try a little bit better than that. This thing comes back just fine. Money said it all. I mean, I think this ball is going to be fantastic on a huge variety of patterns, especially the tour patterns where when there's maybe a little bit of breakdown, you can take advantage of that. It still has a slightly earlier read, but it's just a little bit quicker than the Effect Tour. So I think that just gives it a little bit more of a potential to get left and hook it and get more games out of it. So I think as far as strength goes, it's going to be at the bottom, but usability, I think it's going to be really close to the top. I mean, I've said it a bunch of times in this video already, it's really versatile. I can't wait to see what it's like with a lot of surface on it, to see if I can create a little bit more shape that way, or shine it up with a little bit of compound and see if it'll do the really skid flip thing. I think use case and usability way up, strength-wise compared to the rest of the Widows, down toward the bottom, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to get performance. This thing is a monster, so go get yours. It comes out September 18th along with a couple other goodies. It's a really, really fantastic piece. I love what I saw with it so far. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit the bell. We're getting close to 2,000 subscribers, so we're really close to that. We're excited. We got all kinds of things planned. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Peace.